Hey, Adrian.
I can multiply.
Good. What are we working on today, Braden?
I can multiply.
Good. What are we working on today, Abby?
I can multiply.
Excellent. What are we working on today, Courtney?
I can multiply.
Good. What are we working on today?
I can multiply.
Good. Everybody tell me, what are we working on today?
I can multiply.
Good. Boys and girls, we are working on multiplication and T&E. We've gone over it in math, and now we're getting some extra practice in T&E, right? We've been working really hard on multiplication, on our facts and our fact knowledge, so that we have automaticity with our facts, correct? Okay, so tell me, rate yourself on my rubric. Where are you with multiplication right now? Where are you with multiplication? You think? I don't know. Where are you with multiplication? Carson, you say you're a 2. What can you do to improve? You should be paying attention, Carson, especially if you're a 2.
Try to work harder on learning your facts.
Okay, so that you can know them all and you're a 3 in multiplication? Good. You're going to try that today, right? Good. All right. If you're a 3, Riley, what are you going to work on today?
Teach somebody else.
You could teach somebody else how to multiply, and that gives you greater automaticity with your facts. Good. Okay. All right. You're at it 1.5. So what are you going to do today, Braden?
Trying to become a 3.
You're going to try to become a, before you're a 3, what do you have to do?
You have to answer it on your own.
Okay, but before you can answer it on your own, you have to work a little bit harder with your teacher, don't you? Okay, good. All right, everybody put your fingers down. Today, you can see that I've made some groups for T&E. Okay, lots of us said we were a 3 because we got a 90 or better in multiplication. So I think that's probably you guys need to go, okay? So, lots of us said that we were a 3 in multiplication. If you're a 3,
do you have the multiplication tab with multiplication?
no, thanks. If you're a 3, you're going to be a teacher today for a group. You see your name under a T. You have a partner that's going to be your student. You're going to have your multiplication cards, and you are going to go through those cards at least 3 times with your student. And then your student's going to help you remember so that you're really fast for our next automaticity drill, okay? For our next multiplication test, okay? All right. If you are with Miss Cox, the Miss Cox people left, so we're good with them. If you are with me, Julian, Nick, Carmen, Emily, Adrian, George, not yet, but when we break up, you're going to go back to the table to work with me on some multiplication strategies, okay? And if you're in my challenge group, it's because you got 100, and you've helped people, and you're ready to move on. So you're going to work together on some more challenging work today, okay? All right, is everybody ready? Okay, I'm going to get out the cards. And I'm going to have, Abby, Kay, and Malia be in charge of passing out cards. If you're with me, you're going to meet me back there. If you call somebody and they don't come get their cards, you leave them in the box, okay? All right, thank you.
Carson,
Come on.
Jillian,
Come on.
Nick,
Nick, you're with me, so can you turn your chair for me? It'll be quicker.
1 second.
You don't, Nick, you're not going up there because you're with me, right? You're not going up there because you're with me. So sit down.
Paige,
Julian, grab that chair. Thank you. All right.
Abby, Trinity, Riley, Maurice,
So, nice. You're back here with me. Because on our last multiplication drill that we did, we had some tough times with it, right? So today we're going to talk about some strategies to get our multiplication a little bit more automatic. Okay? So, what are some things you think you could do to improve automaticity? What do you think, Adrian? You could try working by yourself. What do you mean?
Carmen,
You could practice more at home? Sure. Push yourself more at home? What do you mean?
Courtney,
Okay. Okay. What is something you would do if you're not sure on facts? What can we do to figure out our facts? Because if we don't know what our facts are, if we don't know what 5 times 3 is, it doesn't matter how many times I look at my 5 times 3 cards, does it? If I don't know what 5 times 3 is, it doesn't matter how many times I look at my 5 times 3 card, I'm not going to get it. So who has a strategy for when we come to a fact that we don't know? What could we do? What could we do? We got some things for you to look at, see if you can help me remember. What can we do? What can we do, Nick? But if you don't know it, what can you do? What did we do when we were talking about factors and multiples? You can count on a 300 chart. Okay. It's okay. We're just spreading them around. So when we talk about counting on a 300 chart, Nick, what do you mean? If I say your fact is 5 times 3, what can you do? Watch Nick, guys. What can you do? Watch Nick. He's on a 300 chart. He's trying to show you a strategy. When I say 5 times 3, what could you do to figure that out? So you're going to count by, what number? 5. And how many times are you going to count by 5s, Nick? Why? 5 times 3 is, okay, I'm glad you know, but when I count, I'm going to say 5 3 times, because that's my fact, right? Okay, these are my factors, and I'm trying to reach my, okay, a factor times a factor is a multiple. Okay, so I'm going to count by a factor, so I can say 5. Good. What else could I do other than counting on a 300 chart? What's another strategy that you know? Adrian?
42. 72.
Okay, so you could make in, what's it called? You could make an array. Good. So you could make an array. You could count in your array. You could count 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could count 5 rows of 3. Correct? Is this our array for this one? Or you could count what? You could count 3 rows of 5. So you could say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's my total going to be when I make an array that looks like that? 15. Good. So I like some of the strategies that you guys are coming up with. What I'd like to do is try a few harder problems, and you can choose if you'd like to use a number line or if you'd like to use array paper. And I have brand new dry erase markers back here today. So you can choose what tool you'd like to use. But I'd like to represent some of the problems because I think part of the problem, what do you think, Emily? Part of the problem with our multiplication test, Carmen, is if you don't know the representation behind the fact, if you don't know how to count by 5s or count by 3s, then you can't get automatic with it, right? So sometimes it's okay to not just sit there and drill your flashcards. Sometimes you have to take a flashcard and look at it and think, okay, 3 times 7, I'm not sure. I need to make a picture. I need to count on a 300 chart. I need to count by 3s. I need to count by 7s. You need to come up with a way to know what 3 times 7 is. Sometimes we need to make a representation of 3 times 7. It's not a matter of just drilling ourselves on the same card over and over again. Okay? All right. So I'm going to give you a dry erase marker, and we're going to try a couple of facts together. And I want you not just to be the first one to yell out, like, Nick, 5 times 3 is 15. And Nick said, 15, 15. Okay, great. But I want you to show me 15. Okay? All right. I know. Don't you worry. There you are, my dear. Okay? All right. So my first one, do you have the tool that you'd like? Do you have array paper? Or do you have 300 chart? It's what you like. Paige, you should be working with your group. Wait, do you have the tool that you like? Everyone has a tool that they like. Okay, so my first one that I want you to work on is, are you ready? 6 times 4. 6 times 4. And I want you to represent it. I want you to show me. How do you figure out what 6 times 4 is? 6 times 4. What's 6 times 4 going to equal?
56.
Oh, I like how you're using a number line.
18.
What did you do to figure this out?
I counted by fours.
You counted by fours. So you counted by fours how many times?
6 times.
6 times. Okay. What did you do to figure this out?
I counted the boxes inside of the array.
But you made the array first, right? Okay, good. I want you to be more careful when you're counting. I want you to look at this with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I agree with that, but what count this with me? You count. Did you do 6 times 4? What'd you do? Right. So here, I'm going to give you an eraser, and I want you to try to represent 6 times 4 now, okay, George? Emily, I want to look at this with you. What are you counting by here? You're counting by 4s. Okay, if you're counting by 4s, count with me. Count 4s with me, okay? Because I don't see you counting by a 4 here. I see you counting by a 16. That's going to be kind of hard to count by, isn't it? And it's not part of our problem. Remember, Emily, when we talk about this problem, when you want to count on your 300 chart, you can count by, or you can count by, but you can't count by 16, can you? No, because that's not one of the factors. We're trying to find factor times a factor is a multiple. We're trying to get somewhere, we have to use one of these 2 numbers to get there, okay? So, what are we going to do? Which one do you want to count by? Okay, I want you to check this again. I want you to do really careful jumps. I want you to erase. I want you to try it one more time. In fact, you know what? I want you to erase, Adrian. I want you to count with Emily and I. Are you ready? Okay. So we're going to count by what numbers? 4s. Okay, so my first stop, when I count by 4s, I'm going to stop at, what am I going to stop at when I count by 4s? Girlies, when I'm counting by 4s, what am I going to stop at? When I count by 4s. 4, okay, and then what am I going to, I'm going to jump 1, 2, 3, 4 more, okay. How many 4s do I need to count altogether? How many have I counted so far?
4.
How many have I counted so far?
2.
2, okay. I'm going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, okay, and now, have I gotten there? Have I gotten all 6 done? Have I gotten all 6 done? Have I counted 6? Have I counted 4 6 times? I've only counted it 1, 2, 3. Good. If you're finished, good. Hang on. We're on 3 times. I want you to try this one now. Instead of 6 times 4, I want you to try 8 times.